Welcome to On a String. We're watching the Timberwolves Spurs game. We got a nice night of NBA playoffs. We watched the Knicks beat the brakes off the Sixers. Now we have the Timberwolves Spurs up. I just saw this right before we hit record. Is it true that Wemby has 11 blocks right now?
Yeah, it is.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
Dude has 8 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and for whatever reason, is not showing blocks.
11 blocks is crazy. Will in his career he have a quadruple double in the playoffs?
Wemby?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. Doc Rivers is going to have a team again. It's going to happen against this team.
It's
You-
fun. It's
Never mind.
fun.
You said playoffs. My bad. Never mind. It won't be a Doc Rivers led team.
Bada boom. We're getting the dock Hayden quick.
Yeah, I already knew where it was going to fit in, and I wasn't expecting right there. I just had to do it right there because it felt right.
You had the opportunity, and it flowed
It was,
masterfully.
it was in the crosshairs. Had to take the shot. It was right there.
Last week I snuck it in during the mock draft, and I didn't think we were going to be able to sneak in Doc Rivers hate.
Yeah, if you can sneak in some, it's always makes life a little bit better. Yeah, he has 11 blocks right now, 8 points though. Really got to step up his game.
Terrible game.
Yeah, kind of trash, honestly.
It's funny. I made a list of questions I was going to ask you about this series in particular, and one of them was over under 3.5 games with 5 blocks, 5+ blocks. And I did that because I was like, that's kind of asking a lot from him. But I was like, he's going up against Julius Randle, and Julius Randle will be like, I'm stronger. I'll keep trying. And
Yeah,
he'll just throw his shoulder into him. He'll create the space, but Wimby has 12-foot long arms. So, and Julius Randle's just stubborn enough. I was going to go the over 100% on that.
I kind of wonder though if that's how you beat Wemby. Like, just buy into it. You know you're gonna get blocked probably, but there's also, I mean, obviously he's got 11, but you why not just keep going at it? He's eventually gonna get tired.
It doesn't seem like it.
I
He's
mean,
still
that would be,
blocking.
I mean, that'd be my thought process. He's
Maybe
eventually.
offensively, it might be working, slowing him down
That's what
offensively.
I'm kind of saying. Like, if you shoulder somebody enough times, they're gonna get tired a lot quicker. So, like, maybe that's how the Timberwolves win, just being way more physical.
Yeah, Julius and Jaden just keep hitting them.
Yeah, because that was like the question I forgot who I was watching this morning, but they were talking about it, and they were like, "Who do you even have guard Wemby if you're Minnesota?" Because Rudy can't move his feet like that.
Hey, don't talk about the greatest defender of all time like that.
I would talk about Rudy in the worst ways.
Nobody can shut down the league like Rudy Gobert.
You're not wrong about that, sadly. But he's a terrible human being that doesn't belong in the league. No, I'm just kidding. He belongs, but
Hall of
hey,
Famer.
he can't guard Wemby. So then the question is, do you just let Julius Randle guard him and then throw in McDaniels and just kind of bother him? Not necessarily with size, but more like I mean, Julius is a big guy. He's got a bigger body, so maybe use that against him. And then McDaniels can just be an annoying, pesky defender because he's long and that's the way he plays. Is kind of like that annoying style of defense. He's the guy that when you show up at the YMCA, he plays defense, and you're like, bro, come on, man, we're at the Y. What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like, get off of me.
And somehow he does that at the professional level where even they're like, bro, come on.
Yeah. Every
It's gonna be this night. Okay.
every team needs one of those guys, though. You gotta have them.
And he does it like Kawhi used to do that. But
Yeah,
Kawhi wouldn't open his mouth when he was doing it. Jaden would do it and be like, yeah, you suck too.
which is great. It's great for the league. You
Yeah.
gotta have a guy like that.
After our last pod, my biggest regret was that we didn't give Jaden McDaniels his flowers last pod, that we forgot to just be like, hey, this guy rules for where the league is going.
Yeah. You are
Everything that
so
people have begged from the league, like begged to want to have, Jaden McDaniels and Wimby, in his own respect, are those guys. And
That's what
Ant.
I was about to say. You're starting to see that turn that everybody wanted the league to make, where the defense and kind of the aggressiveness is coming back to the league. Because you got Wemby, you got McDaniels, and is like that. The entire Detroit Pistons team is like that because they can't shoot a lick anyway. So you may as well beat the crap out of people.
Yeah.
So, like, honestly, 80s, 90s basketball is kind of back.
It really is. It just has a different look from its pace, but the
Yeah.
physicality is back. I mean, every playoff series has a scuffle at some point. We have the Knicks and Hawks looking like it's a long, heated rivalry. There's fights mid-court, and the teams are clearing the bench. And it's like, when did Knicks and Hawks ever care like this?
I'm not saying anything about Atlanta, dude. I'm out. Leave me alone. Like, we're skipping over that entire series. I'm not saying nothing about Atlanta no more. Like, I can't. I'm not allowed.
Let me ask you, where were you when Atlanta was down 50 in the second quarter?
Like, where was I physically?
Yeah, where were you physically? Where were you mentally? Is it one of those moments like, man, I'll never forget where I was when Atlanta was down 50 in a closeout game at home against the New York Knicks?
Dude, that was the funniest thing because I didn't believe it. Somebody, I forgot who texted me the score, but I looked and I was like, there's no way. There's no way. And then I looked at the score and I was like, yeah.
I had a friend of mine text me the next morning at like 6 a.m. He's not a basketball guy. He texted me at 6 a.m. the next morning, just a screenshot of the score 72 to 22. And he said, "This is fake, right?" And I said, first off, he's an idiot because you could just Google that. It's not like I'm the only guy who's seen basketball in his life. But he
There's
texted me
all stuff
that
like
this
that.
is fake, right? And I was like, no, this is real. He's like, nah, it's fake. That didn't happen.
Dude, when I saw the score, I refreshed it on my phone like 5 times because like, there's no way. There's just no way. They can't be this bad. Like they were so good early on in the series, or like in the middle of the series and stuff. And it's like they were taking it to the Knicks. Like there was a legit chance we were going to talk about the Knicks losing.
Yeah. I mean, we
And
had a moment where we talked about there was a chance that Atlanta could have gone up 3-1 if Scott Foster didn't get involved. And then the Knicks just said, yeah, we're just going to kill this team now.
it, I think it was, I want to say it was like the day before that game, I think a story came out too saying the Knicks were going to target Steve Kerr and Woodson was basically already done.
Hmm.
And I was like, dang, we're just going to Orlando Magic this guy real quick.
Yeah.
You're getting fired before the series is done. Like, we're not even giving you a chance.
Man, I know we're bouncing around quick here, but Mosley already being gone. Because after a series like that, where the Magic proved themselves and showed that there was something there, I think there was kind of a, well, maybe the Magic give them another chance. And they're like, nope.
It was just crazy. Like, you don't, I mean, they almost upset the number one seed. Like, and we're getting rid of the coach now. Maybe they want to move from Orlando, though. No, they haven't said anything. They're going to try the Portland style and pay a coach like $150,000 to coach.
Dang, we're sending our resumes everywhere.
Yeah, I'll move to Orlando in a heartbeat.
Hmm.
I'm good with it.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did move one day to Tampa. I know Tampa is a place that's always wanted NBA team. I mean, which team was it? Was it the Raptors they hosted for a little bit when the Raptors are getting renovations or
Yeah,
something?
yeah. I think it was the Raptors, which is a weird move because I feel like there's
Couldn't have found somewhere else.
huge country in between. You could have stopped anywhere, and you were like, nah, Tampa.
Yeah. I mean, that's how OKC got their start was when New Orleans when that happened and they moved to Oklahoma City. And then it was like, see, we can host a team.
Yeah. Shout out Hurricane Katrina.
Weird shout out.
But still got the Hornets there.
Yeah, I mean, Thunder fans would probably celebrate it.
I don't think anyone's celebrating it. If anyone's going to, it's going to be Thunder fans. Look at you. You wanted to say it.
Yeah.
Your
I've
Thunder
been
hates live.
advised to not speak on it.
You've been advised not to speak on the Thunder. Ooh,
Yeah.
ouch.
Yeah. Because just like you might be blacklisted in Atlanta. I'm getting very close, and I think if one of these clips I post include my actual thoughts on Oklahoma City,
Yeah, but I mean, are you worried about going to Oklahoma City? Like, at least Atlanta's a place like I like going to Atlanta.
that's true.
I like the Braves. I like the
I prefer
city.
not to go to Oklahoma City.
Yeah, dude, I've been there. It's not great. It's okay. I don't want to.
And do people in Oklahoma City know how to drive? Like, could they even come get me? Have they gotten that far yet?
No, for sure not.
Also, I don't know if they know how to use technology, so I don't know if they'll even be able to see this. Anyway, so Atlanta, they suck, huh?
Shot. I'm not saying it. Tough game. If they would have drafted a point guard or a big man in their mock draft, they feel a lot better about themselves right now.
You're the only person in the internet's history that could get blasted for drafting AJ DeBonsa
Yeah, dude.
because because they have Dyson Daniels.
Your comparison of it's like saying we're not going to draft Jordan because we have Clyde. Like, there's no reason. Like, he's good enough. We're good.
Yeah. Do we really need Jordan?
Heck no, man.
Do we really need AJ DeBonsa when we have Jonathan Kuminga?
No, definitely not, dude. You wouldn't want to pair those two up together. It'd be ridiculous on a rookie contract too.
That was funny, man. That was the funniest thing to me when I realized you were getting hate for drafting AJ DeBonsa. I
All time
didn't
fun.
think I was gonna be defending you a lot when we started doing this podcast, but I've been defending you in comments more than even having to comment on anything I ever said.
And I don't feel like I have that crazy of takes.
The ones they've commented on, no, your crazy takes, they just fly right by. They don't care.
Yeah, no one said anything about Heinz Steinbach. Like, no one.
Nope.
No one even cared. I
You
drafted
drafted
eight.
him 10th over like three guys that people think have star potential, and nobody batted an eye. They're like, AJ DeBonsa at two. What are we doing? Keaton Wagler was right there.
It really was, man. I could have taken Wagler. I could have taken Keith Flemings. I could have taken Acuff, but
You wanted to.
I did. I really did feel like I'd get a ton of hate for that. Turns out, probably not. Because I was sitting there and I was like, I could take Acuff here. But I feel like people would have been like, oh, he just said that so they would get clicks or something. Like that would have been a quote unquote cute pick.
Yeah.
And I do really believe that you could take him like in that top five area. But like AJ DeBonsa too, man. Just absolute ridiculous pick.
I might go back and upload the A-Cuff pick because I just want to see if you get hate for that. I just want to see what people say you taking him over Boozer, if that's like a if people
No,
care.
one guy already said it because I didn't take Boozer for Brooklyn. And he was like the Duke guy. And I'm like, yeah, but I also want his career to do well.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn doesn't really have a proven track record with taking guys in. Also, like to me, Boozer could have been taken by you with the Pacers, and that would have been a better fit because to me, they're gonna develop him the right way. The Pacers have a culture, they have an identity. Like he's gonna be a guy they can put in there and he's gonna grow and flourish. Brooklyn, there's no telling. And that's why I think like for a Brooklyn pick, you got to have a guy like Acuff who has swag.
Yeah. I could see if the Pacers got the first pick that they traded back like a couple spots to draft Boozer and get like future picks or another role player or something. I could see that.
I could too. Um, so how do you feel about Boston losing?
Bro.
Where were you? Like, where were you emotionally when it
I was around family
happened?
and I was with my fiance's family who doesn't care about really any sport. And I couldn't not fist pump for like 5 minutes. And we celebrated. I don't know how much they knew what we were celebrating, but I just said the bad people lost today.
People lost today. Like, just to let you know, the bad people lost today. It's good. The world
Reason to
is,
celebrate.
yeah, I mean, we're out at least one team that I really didn't want to watch in the finals, so that's a plus side.
I'm kind of worried. I don't even really want this podcast to go viral, so to speak, if we're going to be bashing Boston, because Jaylen Brown might fire up another live stream and just run the tape of us talking about it and be like, "Oh, well, here's where they messed up."
Who would have thought that you would have been the person just randomly calling out communities and people?
Right.
Like,
That had
uh,
you all over it.
yeah, dude. You come out with OKC hate, Jaylen Brown hate. The question is, so here's my question for Boston. What do they do? Like, I saw something that they're going to go all in on yacht, and everybody's saying it right now because with everybody having a platform to talk, everybody's got like things popping up, and like one of the things is, do you get rid of Jaylen Brown for Giannis and put Giannis in Boston? Why would you not? Also, but everybody's going to get Giannis now. The Lakers are going to get him. Miami will be in the picture. They won't get him. So if you're a Miami fan, just go ahead and
Yeah, get ready to pre-order your Tobias Harris jersey.
yeah.
Shout out Tobias. That wasn't shade. But
No, Tobias is a solid player, but that's the guy Miami's getting right now. They, for whatever reason, South Beach isn't as attractive as it was for 24, 25-year-old LeBron.
if I'm Boston, I'm honestly not doing much. I'm just going to try to retool the team more. I'm not worried about making a trade. We won a championship with these two guys. Let's just try to do that again. And you can look at it as like Tatum didn't play game seven. He didn't play for 90% of the season. Jaylen Brown had to carry the offensive load for the vast majority of it. And in the playoffs, he never made a single mistake, and it was everybody else's fault besides Jaylen. So, we can really reflect on that. Um, if
Is
anything,
is there is there a conversation that needs to be had about the fact that Joe Mazzulla knew he wasn't going to have Tatum, and and during the entire series, he really didn't play the guys that played throughout the regular season that much. Like he didn't really use his bench. Luke Garza wasn't really involved. Is there a conversation that needs to be had about his adjustments and the fact that he was out coached for the series?
yeah, and
Yeah,
he's going to win Coach of the Year.
I'm not saying he needs to be fired, but like, I feel like everybody's wants to retool the roster every time something happens, but like I feel like a lot of things in this specific series was on the coaching.
I agree entirely, which honestly makes me more nervous going forward because I feel like Boston's now just going to be like, hey, we let one slip. We lost our focus from top to bottom, including Joe. Like next year, let's go kill some guys. And
Yeah.
Joe might actually mean it. Either they die or we do.
Yeah, I mean that's his mentality.
He might poison pill everybody if they don't win.
You got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah.
Especially in Boston, you gotta win. They were that game seven was oddly disappointing. Shout out to Embiid and the Sixers, though. This is what happens when you get rid of Doc Rivers as your coach, though. You start winning some playoff games and you make a serious run. I know they got killed tonight, but they'll probably bounce back.
Yeah. Shout out my guy VJ, man. I love that dude. He's the most fearless rookie we've seen since who? Like that dude just
Yeah, he's not afraid of the moment
no,
at all.
no.
And having a big game seven like he did, and then Philly's such a tough fan base to play for too. Because if he shows up even as a rookie and let's say he scored like 6 points, didn't really do anything, them fans are jumping on you. Like they're running you out of the city. Like that's not an easy place to play for, and that's not a dig as them as fans. They're smart fans for all their sports, whether it be football, hockey, or basketball, but they're not gonna let their guys off. They don't let anybody off the hook. Shoot, Jalen Hurts just won a Super Bowl and they were trying to get rid of him.
Yeah. And he embodies that mentality.
Yeah.
He's gonna be a 76er icon. And I think people are coming around, especially after the clip of him winking at the camera. people are really coming around on VJ Edgecombe and saying, hey, he's this guy, he's going to be such a great player and seeing his potential. I don't think people even have come to grips with how great he could become. I think there's another level to him that people still haven't come to grips with beyond him just being a future all-star level player. He could become a future all-time great player. Like there's a path that we could go down. Whenever we talk about the greatest 76ers of all time, VJ Edgecombe could have a career where his name is at that table with Allen Iverson, Dr. J, Moses Malone, Wilt. Like I could see VJ being that good. And I've seen it since the beginning.
Andre,
Andre Iguodala is a perfect example of somebody who wouldn't be at the table. And
Sir, man, leave him alone.
I
You win
know it's
rookie
your
of the,
guy.
didn't you win rookie of the year as a 76er?
I don't even remember.
It, but I agree. And how much do you wish that we would have started this podcast last year around the draft time? Because you were ridiculously high on VJ. You put me onto him. I wasn't really as familiar with his game as you were, and I was like, oh, all right. And then I checked him out, and I was like, oh yeah, this dude's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna do like a draft deep dive last year and just go down the rabbit hole and I started it and I got to like four or five guys and I got to VJ and I stopped. I stopped the deep dive. I was like, this is my guy. I've seen all I need to see. Don't care any further. And I missed out on several dudes like Derek Queen. I never went on a deep dive through him and multiple guys are having very good rookie years because this is a pretty deep class. But as soon as I got to VJ, I was like, this is my guy. I don't need to see anybody else, and I'm just good now.
He was
Dang,
awesome.
Randall just hit a crazy shot there up six with 49 seconds left.
Iguodala was all rookie. He wasn't rookie of the year though, but he was all rookie team that year in '05 when he was drafted.
Wimby just
One
went coast to coast and dunked on, I think, everybody who's ever worn a Minnesota jersey.
I feel like getting dunked on by Wemby would just be like a rite of passage. Like like you get dunked on by like a Nate Robinson, that probably like that kind of hurt. I know he can jump and he has crazy hops, but you still kind of like, God, why? Like that dude dunked on me. Wemby dunks on you. I feel like you just make a business decision, get out of the way, and run up the court and try to make a play on offense after that.
Yeah, it just is what it is. I don't think you even think about it later. So yeah,
Because there's so many clips now of him dunking on like four people.
Spurs got a steal, 2 point game, 30 seconds left. You're getting a little live play-by-play by old Logan here. Timberwolves inbound. Jay McDaniels has dribble. De'Aaron Fox pressed him full court, 24 seconds. Back, oh, tipped. Timberwolves have the ball. Little Julius Randle, top of the key action. Devin Vassell on him. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Drives, double by Wimby. Pulls up, misses the shot. Rebound, Harper. Wimby has the ball, 5 seconds left. No timeout. They're pushing it, 3 seconds left. 3 point shot for the win. Miss. Timberwolves win game one.
Let's go Timberwolves. And shout out Julius Randle for having 21 points, 10 rebounds.
Yeah,
And
he hit the last shot for them too. A little turnaround left hook.
Mike Conley, six dimes.
He still got it.
Yeah,
Our
he's
guy still got it.
still in it, man. He's not out. He's still a dog.
When we were
Um,
talking about the playoffs like a month ago, I was very strong on like the dark horse is the Timberwolves to win it all. Like I don't think people are really giving them a chance. I will say it broke awful for them having to go through Denver, San Antonio, and then presumably Oklahoma City to get there. I think they
that's
can beat San
hardest
Antonio.
run.
Hmm?
That's gotta be one of the hardest runs ever if they do it.
If they do it. It's
Even
right
if they get to the
with the
Western Conference,
Mavericks.
even if they get to the Western Conference Finals, it's like kind of a win for them because I think you had Denver picked,
Yeah.
and then I'm assuming. I mean, we're still. I wanted San Antonio in the championship, so Minnesota wasn't really on that list of teams that we really.
And it's how it broke for them. It wasn't because I lost confidence in them. It was just having to go down that path is just
Did
rough.
you?
And I
You
almost felt like when you're in that position and you're the sixth seed and you see the path, it's almost like, well. this is gonna suck. But for them, they're like, "No, who cares? Jay
Yep.
McDaniels, like, we're just gonna beat them all. They all suck."
Didn't you say, didn't you say about Minnesota that you don't trust them in late game situations though?
Yeah, they blew so many leads throughout the year. And I think they are such a good example of teams that treat the regular season like the regular season and treat the playoffs like the playoffs. Once it's playoff time, they know the lights are brighter, and now you're going to see the real us. Because they had other nights where they just looked so dominant during the regular season. They looked like they were the best team in basketball. There were several nights like that. And there are times in the clutch where Ant looked like Michael Jordan or Kobe, reincarnate. But they had other nights where it's like, man, are they the Dallas Cowboys? What is this?
Yeah, and had a couple games where he only scored like 12 or 18 points and supposed to like have it. And then you turn it on, he has a game for 35, 40, and you're like, all right, well, which Ant are we gonna get?
Mm. But the thing about Ant that I love so much, even on those games where he has 12 or whatever, he is the best teammate on the court.
Yeah,
This team, what separates Ant from a lot of guys who are just really great scorers in the league is he is the ideal teammate. People look at like Michael Jordan and Kobe as like teammates kind of sucked, but you wanted them on your team because you didn't want to play against them.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to have to play against, but he's also the guy you want on your team. You want him in the locker room. You want him talking to everybody. He's always bigging people up. He's always keeping people accountable. He finds your strength. Like the whole yeah, they have Kevin Durant, but we have Jaden McDaniels has become just an all-time quote, like an all-time classic quote. When that was said, he was clowned for it. But it was also like, that's a hell of a teammate to say something like that. And he meant it.
That's the point I was gonna bring up was the McDaniels Durant thing, and it's like, all right, well, he's the best teammate. He's exactly who you'd want to play for. And honestly, I remember his draft, and you and I were talking about him and being like, man, I don't know if he's serious about basketball. Uh, I was wrong. I
Yeah,
will wear
we
that.
both were.
We were wrong on that. That man
We both
cares.
said we want to be wrong. We were both like, man, I hope I'm wrong because he looks so good. But some of the stuff he said, he kept saying like, yeah, I could play baseball if I want. Or
You
I
go
could,
play football.
yeah, I
It's
could go play football if I decided to do that instead of basketball. He would say stuff like that. And we were like, that doesn't sound like a guy who's going to be great in the league. And then he just turned out to be one of the greatest players of this generation.
he's the guy that you really like. I really, really want to see him get a ring. Because he's also a guy I could see never winning a ring, and not any shade in him. I just feel like if he's going to stay in Minnesota for his career, it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah. I
I mean,
mean, they've been to two straight conference finals. If they can get past San Antonio, it'll be three straight. But then they have to go into OKC, and it's like, all right, well, another conference finals trip. Congratulations. But in the West in particular, that's such a feat because making the Western Conference Finals in the West, or making the conference finals in the West, is equivalent to like making the finals out of the East.
yeah,
So,
especially when you look at like, and all the teams pretty much with the exception of the Lakers and the Nuggets, everybody's pretty much young in the league in the West. Like the rising guys are fairly young. Even Jokic is still young. Like he's not old, but in terms of like basketball years, but Wemby is super young. Shea is super young. Ant is right there. Like you got to go
Luka.
through those three. Booker's still pretty young. The Rockets are young in general, with the exception of KD.
Mhm.
Like all the teams are young. Like you're not dealing with like older teams.
And you know, only Western Conference teams win the draft lottery whenever there's a good draft. So the Bonds and Peterson's about to be over there.
Yeah, Atlanta don't even have to worry about getting AJ now.
Don't worry about it, guys. You won't be upset.
Yeah, it's irrelevant. You're not getting him or Peterson. Just get it.
Man, I can't wait for the draft lottery.
Yeah, me too. Just to see where teams go, because I also feel like I think a lot of stuff has been said about the West always getting the number one pick or like getting the better picks. And you almost wonder, like, will the NBA kind of push it to the East this time just to kind of balance out the league a little bit, which I think they kind of need to do.
Yeah, we desperately need an influx of talent in the East.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Miami's in the East. You know, Miami's in the East. We've been very good. We've battled against tanking. We fought the good fight. I think we could be thrown a high pick. We've never had the number one pick in the draft.
You don't deserve one.
Better time than ever right now.
Nah, they should give it to Boston.
I still somehow Jalen will complain about it.
Yeah.
So I brought it up several times. How did you feel when you saw the whole Jalen? You saw the Jalen Brown clips, what he was talking about on his live stream, and
Oh, I didn't even see it.
you didn't see
No.
it.
Mm.
He went on live stream like less than 24 hours after blowing a 3-1 lead to the 76ers to trash the
Oh,
referees and to
you
trash
talking
Embiid.
talking about Embiid flopping?
Yeah, and to I lost all my words. Um, to repeatedly show clips of his teammates missing shots and then also say that this season was his favorite season, even though the best player and his best teammate on that team dealt with like rehabbing a pretty intense injury the whole time and then just got hurt again in the playoffs. And he's like, yeah, this is my favorite year. We won a championship together, but this is my favorite year.
I mean, maybe he feels like this is the year that shows he can be given the keys and they can move off of Tatum.
Move off of Tatum? What does that
Yeah, I
entail?
don't think that at all. I was just saying maybe that's what he thinks. Maybe he thinks he doesn't need Tatum.
I don't know what he thinks, but I did talk to a couple of Celtics fans that I begrudgingly have in my life. And when that happened, they saw the live stream, even they weren't defending it. They were like, this is such a terrible look. Like, and some
It's
of them
also,
are saying some pretty wild stuff about Embiid and the 76ers. And then they saw Jaylen Brown publicly say those same things. They're like, no, that's whack. So
Embiid does flop a
he's a
lot.
flopper. But so is Jaylen Brown.
But Jaylen Brown's an MVP candidate. You got to leave him alone.
Joel Embiid's an MVP.
That's a good point too. That's a good point.
And
Embiid actually played like an MVP again. Like you saw more of a vintage Embiid, and it was kind of nice to see.
and I have skin in the game. I need Joel Embiid to make the NBA Finals at some point in his career because that just marks one less name on the list of MVPs to never be in the finals.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good point.
So I have skin in the game. I'm all in on 76ers. Let's do this. Kumbaya.
I would love to see the 76ers make a run to the finals. Mainly so we can all just shit on Doc for a few minutes about the fact that he could never bring that team to the finals.
Yeah, even though he over exceeded with the talent that he had in
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
Way overexceeded. Of course, it's Doc Rivers, dude. He's the greatest coach of all time.
Google him.
Yeah, Google anytime you want. When you do, a podcast will probably pop up saying that he's not a very good coach because that is pretty much like the opinion of most people is that like, how does this guy keep getting jobs?
It's pretty wild when you think about certain players who have been relegated to being assistant coaches or just not being in the league anymore. And Doc just consistently has a job. Even when the Bucks asked him if he wanted to be their coach, he said he was surprised. And it was like, okay.
You should be imagine being the guy like you're a coach and you're coaching the Orlando Magic and you're the guy that tells Tim Duncan that he can't bring his family on the airplane. So therefore, you're never going to get Tim Duncan. You pretty much make sure Tracy McGrady never wins a championship. And then flash forward another 10, 15 years and you've still gotten jobs throughout the entirety of your career. Like, yeah, I
How
wouldn't believe it.
how unbearable would Tracy McGrady have been if he won a championship?
How unbearable would I be if Tracy McGrady won a championship? That's what you really got to ask yourself. It's not unbearable how he would be. Me.
That's yeah, you would have him top 10.
Oh, for sure. It's not even a shadow of a doubt. And your Brandon Roy comments would be irrelevant
Yeah.
because he would have a ring. And he would have also gotten out of the first round, which would both would be huge accomplishments for Tracy McGrady.
What does that say about us that both of our favorite players never made out of the first round?
I don't know. I don't want to think about that. I feel like we could go down a deep, probably emotional roller coaster there for that.
Hey, you're down for some bonding time?
On a string, we're about to do some real therapy. We're about to dig into it.
We're going to use Tracy McGrady and Brandon Roy as mirrors for ourselves.
I don't want to do that. That's the way I don't want to go down.
And on that cue, you want to take a quick break and then we'll come back and keep this party rolling.
Yeah, let's do it. Shout out to our sponsors, all of them.
All 20.
20
You didn't see the emails?
No, dude.
There's literally a bidding war right now.
Oh, I believe it. There should be.
Yeah.
Waffle House, Huddle House, Cracker Barrel.
Although they might have been like vague threats because they're all Atlanta-based businesses, and it was actually asking us to come record one in Atlanta in their
I'm
shop,
not going. I'm not going.
and they said make sure Sean is there. So
I'm not. I'm out. I'll sit that one out. I'll do it remote.
I already said yes to all of them, and we're liable. I've already took taken the money, so we're liable if we don't go.
No, you're liable. I never signed anything. I didn't even read the email. I'm out. I'll do it remote. Shout out Atlanta.
We might be back next week. We'll see.
It depends.
With the Timberwolves winning game one, I did write down a few questions that I had for you about the Timberwolves Spurs series. Just nothing too serious, just curious on your thoughts about it. So, as I said earlier, I put over under 3.5 games where Wemby has 5 blocks, and then he had 11, maybe more tonight. I don't know. I didn't see the final tally.
I think he only ended up with 11.
Okay.
Not a big game for him.
So I think we're both going over.
I'm going over, dude. I don't see how he doesn't. You said over five?
Over 3.5 games where he has 5 blocks or
Oh
more.
yeah, for sure.
Okay. Over or under 2.5 games that include a scuffle among the players.
I'm gonna say under.
Okay. You think there's more respect among everybody this
I
series?
think so. I think also it's. I don't know. It might make it more. I think two. I'm gonna stick with going under on that, but I think there is a little bit more respect because I was gonna say that like not that they were gonna be like prisoners of the moment or captured in the moment, but I think that also the pressure is starting to turn up a little bit, which could cause more fights. But it also might make them more like not scared, but kind of discouraged from getting into a fight to make sure that they're good for not getting suspensions and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I do know Wimby and Ant have extreme respect for each other and been very vocal about it, so that could potentially set the tone. Whereas the Nuggets and Timberwolves had there's already kind of a bad blood brewing there,
Yeah,
and Jay McDaniels just added oil to that fire. So
thankfully. Shout out to Big was on that.
over under 2.5 Wimby posters on Gobert.
Oh, I'm going over.
Me too. That one I think I might have gone too low, 2.5. That's kind
Yeah,
of
wait, though. He's gonna have like 30.
over under. We'll just say this as a yes or no question. Will Ant hit Wimby with a too little gesture?
God, I hope so.
I feel
I'm
like
gonna, I'm gonna say yes.
I agree.
He's he's gonna get him.
Yeah. I don't know how. I don't know if it's going to be a dunk. I don't know how he's going to do it, but I feel like he might do it just because he can, and he'll think it's funny.
Yeah. If we were going only on dunks, I would say no. But he's gonna get it some one way or another. He's gonna figure out a way to get that in there.
Yeah. Um, will Jaden McDaniels and Wimby get into a media feud during the series? Just like throw shots at each other in the media after game one.
I think they will as long as like Wimby doesn't really take shots per se. Like he's not openly saying this person. Like he takes his little backhanded kind of comments that he makes. I think he makes one or two of those for sure.
I wonder what McDaniels would say about Wimby because you can't say, well, they're terrible defenders. Like that doesn't.
Yeah, but what if in his mind that's just like his leg up on them? Like just thinking like if I think they're terrible defenders, I'm just gonna say it. Like it doesn't have to be true. It's like before a boxing match, you don't come out and go, "Hey, he's a really hard hitter. He's gonna knock the crap out of me. I'm probably gonna be dead."
Fair. I would love for him to just buy into the bit and be like, yeah, everybody in San Antonio sucks at defending. Like, I want
I
to
would
see Wimby be told he sucks at being a defender before a game and just see what happens. We're gonna see
11
what
blocks would be nothing. Ends up
uh,
at 22.
who has a better series, Julius Randle or De'Aaron Fox? Because
Um,
I put these two people because to me, I feel like those are the two guys for each team that could become the decisive factor on who wins this series.
God, that's hard for me because I would love for it to be like I. Those are two. I would love to see Fox make it to a finals, and same thing with Randall. I'm gonna say Fox.
Yeah.
Fox has got a little bit more, not necessarily maturity, but like playoff maturity. He had the little run with Sacramento. I think he has a little bit more clutch in him than Randall does.
Yeah, he was one of the most clutch players in the league like a year or two ago.
Yeah. So
He
I think
hasn't really been. He's missed on a lot of big moments for them this year, though. It surprised me as I've watched. He's had a couple like bunnies that he's missed in the clutch. It's weird. It's a weird thing that's happening with him. I don't know if it's the pressure of now these games I'm playing matter. I'm not in Sacramento anymore.
yeah, because in Sacramento you're just happy to like win a game in the regular season. So when you talk about meaningful playoff games, I think there's more pressure though on Randall. Like he probably feels it more because Minnesota has made it to the Western Conference Finals before. And so like I mean I know San Antonio has in the past, but not this team.
Right.
And so like that Spurs team is still young enough where I don't feel like Fox has they're kind of playing with house money this year. Because like as much as people think they're championship contenders, there's still that like, oh well they're young or Wemby's young and that kind of thing. And I wonder how much that'll like factor into it.
But is there pressure on Fox that if they don't get it done this year, or if he doesn't have big games and big moments, that San Antonio could look at him in the offseason and be like, do we really need him anymore? We have Harper, we have Castle, we have Vassell.
I mean, you still need a veteran backup guard. Like even like I said, man, I don't think San Antonio makes any big roster moves as far as like moving guys off the roster that they currently have in the offseason. Like I don't see them moving off of Fox, even if they lose this series.
If they lose this series in 5 games, they don't think about it.
I mean, they probably think about it just because you have to, but I still wouldn't move off of them.
I wouldn't either, for the record. I'm with you on that. But I think if you're De'Aaron Fox, you have to know that that's a possibility. That
Yeah.
especially with the Giannis talks, like I know they've basically said they're not interested in that, but if they lose this series and it looks like they're weak on the interior whenever Wemby's not involved, that hey, maybe Luke Cornett isn't Wembanyama, sorry, Jason Williams, that we may need to add some more strength down there. It's not nothing.
Giannis and Wimby paired up would be disgusting.
It would be, but man, I would love to see it. I want to see it for a game. I don't want it to happen in real life, but I want to see that reality.
Yeah, I want to see it, but not really like permanently. Like I just want to see it for a game and see how it goes. I also think that like to me, a lot of this is going to determine if they make the Western Conference Finals. There, there could be talk of just depending on how Fox plays against Shea too. I feel like that's going to be a conversation for the rest of the playoffs for as long as the Spurs make it. Is whether De'Aaron Fox can is he the should he still be there kind of.
Exactly. And that's where what you brought up with Shea, that's where his stock with San Antonio could become in great jeopardy is if he proves to be like a defensive liability. That's where I could see them being like, hey, we need to move off of him because Harper and Castle are not defensive liabilities. Aren't either. But if we have De'Aaron Fox, who provides a very similar skill set to somebody like Harper, and he's worse defensively, do we value him the same way that we did when we first got him? I don't think so.
And you can move off his contract too. I don't
Yeah.
know what kind of contract he has in San Antonio,
Pretty
but
sure they just extended him last year. So
really. So it's probably pretty good money wise, and probably not team favorable. So you probably could move off of him and get a cheaper player.
And who would trade for him if it is like a unfavorable contract? Sacramento? You want him back?
Chicago,
Hey, they could use another point guard.
they love a good point guard, and they also love a former King.
They sure do.
So
They're
you go to San
just
Antonio,
one to
go back.
one.
Yeah, you go from San Antonio to Chicago, and then get traded back to Sacramento.
Man, that's rough.
God, I hope that doesn't happen.
The only other question I had on actually, I have one other one I'll get to first. Will Mike Conley be remembered for his time with the Timberwolves or the Grizzlies?
For me, I'll always remember him as the Grizzlies, just because of the teams that he played on, and he played a larger role, even though people still didn't really appreciate how good Mike Conley was for the Grizzlies. I still think that was like that's the memory I'm gonna have of him. I don't because it's hard for me to like really point out like a Mike Conley moment for Minnesota.
Yeah.
In Memphis, you can pick a few.
Yeah, the Mike Conley moments are so little, and it's probably locker room things and stuff that the guys on the team would have to bring up because he doesn't have the moment in Memphis. I brought it up to you before when we talked about. I will never forget. That was one of those I won't ever forget where I was when I was watching the Grizzlies and Clippers playoff, or sorry, Grizzlies and Spurs playoff series where Conley and Kawhi, like prime 2017 Kawhi was just going toe to toe with Mike Conley, and Conley was holding his own. He belonged, and they were just going back and forth trading buckets. That's one of my favorite games I've ever watched in my life. And Mike Conley is kind of the guy that connected you and I think, on like a basketball, loving to talk to each other about basketball because we talked about basketball to each other very casually. And then I think the 2011, 2013 Grizzlies came up, and you and I both just lit up. And we were like, wait, we might have something here.
We just become best friends.
Yeah, like I didn't know you and I belonged in the same room like this.
Yeah, dude, it's also such a weird team to be a fan of, but that God, I love that Memphis team.
Yeah, this podcast might not exist without Mike Conley.
That's a fair point. Could have been just like casual basketball fans talking to each other and never really know that we like.
Yeah.
Wait, this guy actually knows hoops. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
You actually appreciate real basketball? Okay.
There's no more real basketball than Mike Conley.
From a pure point guard standpoint, there's really not. He's a part of a dying breed because there's not many pure point guards like he is left.
Are there any?
No, I don't think so. Everybody's a scoring guard now.
Yeah, I mean, there's some guys like not to the level of him. I mean, now he's just like a veteran role player, but who have been at his stature where he was it was a no question. He was a starter. He was always kind of like a fringe all-star, whereas like he could have been an all-star, but are you going to vote for him? Probably not. Like there's TJ McConnell type guys where they do run the offense like that and they always get people involved. They're moving off the ball like Conley, but he's never been anywhere near that stratosphere. I think Lowry, I mean, he's still on a roster.
Is Lowry still on the roster?
Think. Isn't he still in Philly? Pretty
Yeah, I
sure. He's
think
still in
so.
Philly. He doesn't play, but
No,
he's there.
Lowry might be the closest, but even he's still not.
He's not our guy.
No, and Conley's a little bit different too because he can knock down shots. Not that Lowry can't, but I'm thinking like pure point guards. Like you have Rajon Rondo, for example, one of the best passers to ever play the game. Just very pure with his passes, but he can't shoot really a lick. And so like, but Mike Conley can shoot, and him at Ohio, like people don't understand how good he was at Ohio State. Like that Ohio State team with him and Greg Oden, so good.
Yeah. I Conley's closest comp to me was always Chauncey Billups. They both
Yeah,
played hard defense. They ran the offense. You would look at their stat sheet and be like, man, is this guy really as good as people say that he is? Like, he's probably not. And then you watch the game and you don't necessarily see anything that proves it too, but it's just that consistency, night in, night out on both sides of the court, leading the offense, leading the defense. Man, shout out Mike Conley. Let's just do a Mike Conley pod one day.
I'm down.
We
I'm
should
down.
just do that with like Peja Stojakovic, like just guys that we both love that people
Just
don't
break
really
down
talk
their
about.
game and just enjoy like their old highlights.
Yeah.
I'd be all in
Yeah. We'll make a list of guys and Mike Conley's near the top of that one.
for sure.
Who else? Who's a couple other that we just have always gravitated towards when we talk about it? I feel like there has to be more. Like I
I mean,
know
off that
Sean
Memphis,
Elliott,
yeah, Sean Elliott, off that Memphis team alone, Zebo,
Zebo.
Hager.
I was always a Marc Gasol guy too.
I was too. I like Mark.
Tony Allen, but I feel like Tony Allen is almost like, well, who doesn't love Tony Allen? Like
Yeah,
he was a Celtic on my most hated team, the reason I hate the Celtics, and I still love Tony Allen.
that's crazy because you hate all Celtics, anything green.
He is one of the only, him and Ray Allen, I think, are the only two who have broken that mold. And Ray Allen had to hit maybe the biggest shot in modern basketball history for me to forgive him.
He had to save your goat's career.
He had to save my night that night, I'll tell you that. I was in hostile territory in a room full of people going for the Spurs who hated the Heat,
Everybody hates the Heat.
especially then.
Yeah, y'all were a hateable team then. Very hateable.
I
Still,
understood. I didn't blame anybody hating us, but I hated everybody in that room because the people who were hating on the Heat weren't even like super big basketball fans. To the point where it was like, if you're a big basketball fan, I'll let you just hate because of what happened in Miami and how it all came together. But if you're like super casual to the point where you can only name like four guys on the court, I'm not going to give you the pass to just hate on my team that I love just because you were told to hate them. And I was in that room when they started wheeling out the trophy and celebrating and laughing in my face. And then Ray Allen did that. I forgive
oh,
him
what
for
a
being a Celtic.
yeah, that's fair. What a moment to be a part of in that situation for you.
Oh, it
The
was.
rolling out the
I was
Larry
so
O'Brien
obnoxious.
trophy. I bet I believe it. Not you, who openly hates on communities on a podcast. Not you.
Do you think if we did blow up in some sort of way or build a community that you and I would begin to pull back on the things we say about communities or teams or players?
No, because my hate for some of these things goes real deep. Like I'm always gonna hate anything in Oklahoma, Arkansas, those
Maybe we
places.
just rephrase it.
Nah, I think we gotta stick to it.
Do
We
we
gotta,
make a pact? We'll never stop.
yeah, we'll never stop hating. I will never say a nice thing about anyone in. Well, I might say nice things about people in Arkansas because I don't want to say everybody there is terrible, but why would you choose to live in that state? Same thing with Oklahoma.
Yeah, maybe we'll make a list of guys that will come together and we'll make a pact on that if by the very small chance we do become big, we will never switch up our hate talking about them. Even if it becomes very like strategical for us where we could build a relationship or partnership with this person, we'll never switch up.
Oklahoma City fans want you to come out and do something, and you're like, can't, can't.
I mean, I can go, but you're not gonna like it.
You're not gonna like what I have to say at all.
I'm gonna be like that iconic Bill Burr stand up he had in Philadelphia where he just trashed Philly for like 15 minutes and the Philly fans just booed him and cussed him out the whole time and he just trashed everything Philadelphia. That would just be me for anything in Oklahoma City or Boston.
I don't want to hate Atlanta. I like going there. Their aquarium's one of my favorite things in the world.
Bro, the aquarium, that is my happy place.
God, it's great, dude. That's my happy place. It's my favorite place to go.
I'll be there I would live there if they would allow me to.
Dude, before we had Ellie. I made Cassie walk like 9 miles in the aquarium. It was like 2 weeks before we had Ellie. And I was like, I love the aquarium. We gotta go. And she was like, okay. And then we spent like 3 hours there.
Bro, you and I are just the same person.
I love, dude. I didn't know you love aquariums. They're my favorite place. I've never been happier anywhere else in my life. No offense to my kids.
Every time we learn something new about each other, it's like, oh yeah, we are just the same guy. Our old customers used to see something in us that we didn't.
Apparently, dude. I still don't see
Yeah,
it.
me, but they saw it in us. The
Logan,
twinkle in our eye was the same.
how'd you get here so quickly? What?
Man. The last question I had on here, and arguably the most important, and I hope you get this one. Um, Over under 1.5 ankle socks on Kelly Olynyk that cause the announcers to lose their minds.
Over.
Yeah. It'd be weird if it was under, but they still lost their minds due to it, because then it would just be one ankle sock and then one basketball sock.
I don't know. I don't know how Kelly Olynyk has managed to stay in the league.
Yeah, I thought about that when the ankle sock scandal happened and
Yeah.
he checked in and the announcers and the cameraman just zoomed in on his ankles. I thought about it, I was like, Kelly Olynyk, still in the league. Good for him.
It's great for him. I'm happy for him. But just a weird one.
I mean, by all accounts, he's like the best teammate. So,
Yeah, I think he's a good dude. I mean, he's Canadian. You really can't be. They apologize for everything.
yeah, I think before their first playoff game, he got all of them matching suits and stuff. Like, he's very big on just team building. So, he's like the perfect guy for them.
Gonzaga.
Yeah, it's worked for all the other Gonzaga alum.
There's a few in the league now that produce.
Shout out Jalen Suggs, man. Jalen Suggs might be one of those guys for us that you and I just are in sync on.
Yeah, I still love Jalen Suggs, even though he kind of had a rough outing this year.
Yeah. Good playoff series, though.
Yeah, good playoff series.
That's all the questions I had on Timberwolves, Spurs. I
I
just
mean,
thought those.
I think we got to hit the Rockets Lakers a little bit. The fact that LeBron
Give them your praise.
was able to do this,
The
not
go.
that the Rockets are that good. It was kind of like beating a team of I don't know. There's no politically correct way for me to put this, but it was like, you know, kind of easy goings against the Rockets.
Was it without Luca and you only had Reeves for like 1.5 games?
I mean, I think I mean, they didn't play the Nuggets.
No, but they played Amin and Shingun and all the
Shane,
other guys.
Shane seems out of sync, dude.
Yeah, something's off.
Something's not right.
I love
I've
Shingun, but he looks off.
I've heard complaints about the coaching on that end
Oh
about
yeah,
that.
Ime is hard as hell on him.
Yeah,
Ime doesn't fit the team. He's not the coach for that. I think he's a good coach. I'm not. I celebrated when the Celtics got rid of him because I hated him being their coach. And then they somehow found somebody even more of a psycho in Joe. I didn't know that existed. Ime was trying to fight LeBron James on the sideline. I was like, oh, well, he's the craziest guy in the league. And then they found the dude who spends 24 hours in the dark and silence once a week.
it's probably good for him
I think he
somehow.
grew up like Bane.
You think the darkness made him?
Yeah.
I can see it.
I was born in the darkness. And that's just Joe Mazzulla in practice. He
I can,
makes practice in the dark.
I can see it. I mean, I can also see him just like really buying into the Bane thing a little too seriously. Like not that he saw the movie, just that like he would buy into like just that kind of aesthetic. Like he would just be like, "Yeah, this is what I'm doing now. Like I'm gonna live in the dark." Why? You can afford anything you want.
But if you
But
ask him about
now,
a movie, he's probably going to tell you movies are stupid and dumb. They shouldn't exist.
yeah, he's never watched a movie.
Never seen the movie. Don't even know what that is.
Doesn't even know he doesn't even know what a TV is.
You mean a moving picture?
Yeah, no clue. Didn't even watch film. He's got flashcards. He moves them real fast.
I could 100% see him saying, it's like, why would I need to watch film when it just lives in my head? It's on repeat in my head all the time.
That seems more like a Jaylen Brown comment, but I do agree.
I don't know. Jaylen Brown might say, like, I don't know, somebody's gonna bash somebody. I hate that guy. I can I say this? I was ahead of the Jaylen Brown hate for a while. People are jumping on the bandwagon now, especially after that live stream, but man, I am ready to be the captain of that ship.
I think I'm going to start pushing Jaylen Brown more.
You have been. You've been trying.
I think he's a great player. I think he said what he said and he stands by it. I mean, is he wrong about anything that he said? And
Yes.
beat the flopper. We both agreed on that. His teammates did miss shots. His other teammate came out and said if they would have made half of the shots that they missed, they probably would have won. Then that you can say that about every single basketball game that's ever been played, literally in the history of time. It's an all-time great comment though, because he was like, "We would have made half the shots that we missed, we would have won." It's like that's how basketball works.
Genius. It's like that meme of Yachty and Drake where he's showing them on the computers like, oh,
Yeah.
why didn't I think of that?
If I would have known that all you had to do was put the ball in the hoop more times than you missed it, and we would have won, we would have done that. It's simple.
Uh,
He's got to get with Doc Rivers. They get coached together.
it seems like it should have happened.
Yeah, if that's your analysis of a game, you should definitely go coach with Doc. We got to play more defense. Yeah, yes, you
The
do.
fact that Milwaukee was like, man, Giannis is going to leave us. We really need to do everything we can to get him to stay. And they're like, who can we call? I know. Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham.
How could you lose with those two? I don't even understand.
Is Kyle Kuzma available?
Yeah, that GM has a job. I'm impressed.
We haven't seen Giannis and Kevin Porter Jr. play together yet. The amount of comments that were made.
So, how do you feel about Luka being out for the OKC series? Do they get swept? Do you
With or
think they'll?
without him, I don't think it really mattered. Let me ask you this. I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna throw it back at you. Let's say in this weird hypothetical, somehow the Lakers win, no Luka, LeBron just goes 2020 LeBron, his final gasp, and they beat the Thunder, win the series to move on to the Western Conference Finals. Does that make you view LeBron differently? And
No,
for people who don't know Sean, this guy is delusional and thinks LeBron's not the greatest player ever. So
he's a top 10 player. He's in the top 10. Solid. There's nothing wrong with that. Top 10 all time, not top 10 this year. Top 10 all time. That's not bad.
I mean, it's not bad.
I mean, what are we complaining about?
You could kind of bump up. He's top 10, sure, but he's not 10, not 9, not 8, not 7.
No, I ain't gonna make the same mistakes he made in Miami. Actually, that actually worked for him going that way.
Yeah, we're going the other way this time.
Yeah, that would have actually worked. Never mind.
Would it change anything for you? Would you be like, man, yeah, you know what, this guy is kind of special?
I'll never argue that. Like, my argument isn't whether or not he's special. He's definitely
Mm,
special.
your
But
Instagram feed says different.
my Instagram feed's wild, dude.
Your Instagram feed says that he's like the 38th best player ever.
I would pick Steve Nash over him.
All right. And that's
Just
it for all the mud.
I mean, he's a top 10 player, dude. He's okay. But it would kind of change the argument a little bit because that, even with beating the Rockets, who I don't really think are that great anyway, that there's a lot of holes in that team, especially personality and chemistry. I do think if he was able to pull off beating OKC, that would be insane. At his age, with all the miles he's put on his body and having to go up against like the well-oiled machine that OKC is, and not getting some freak injury that Lou Dort caused, like, yeah, I wouldn't even care if he lost in the conference finals because I would just be so impressed by that.
Prepare yourself.
It's not gonna happen, dude.
Prepare yourself.
Nah.
Okay, what if they lost and he just had kind of a vintage LeBron series and he just averaged like 28, 9, and 8 at 41 years old and they win a game or two?
It's impressive.
Would it be like, maybe I should enjoy his final moments a little bit more?
I'm not going to.
This guy.
Just made the league soft, dude. It's his fault. It took a French guy to bring back toughness. That's how soft the NBA has become in LeBron's era.
The,
It took a French guy.
yeah. It's kind of funny that the two guys pushing the future of the league, like the two future voices of the generation that lead competition and caring and fighting the hardest, one's from France and one's from Georgia. It's like these are two guys that should have no interaction with each other, like should not know who each other are, but they are the two guys pushing the future of the NBA.
Also, shout out for Ant for getting out of Georgia without a speeding ticket.
He didn't escape scot-free.
No, still. I guess he's not on the football team, so that's only a primary football team issue.
Yeah, our football team. They're told to go in practice, they're told to go 0 to 100, and they just don't separate practice from life. They're told football's life, go 0 to 100, transitive property. They get in a car,
Do you
boom.
think when they get in their car, their mindset is still football, opposed to like, oh, I'm driving right now? Their mindset's, oh, football. I gotta,
Football is life. So,
yeah,
I
still have
mean,
one national championship.
we did. We won back to back,
Yeah, a while ago. It's been a minute now.
more recent than LSU.
Yeah, but we had the greatest team of all time, so it's irrelevant.
It was a pretty damn good team, man.
Yeah, there
I
you go.
can't hate it. I mean, my guy's Joe Burrow, so I can't.
Get in on Joe, man.
Yeah, I loved that. I'm not even gonna fight it. We did win more than y'all, but I'm not gonna fight it. I'd rather
Yeah,
have two championships compared to one really awesome championship. I'll take the two. I'll take the back to back.
yeah, but you don't even understand the feeling of that championship. Like that championship was magical. Georgia doesn't have that. They just have two championships. Not magical runs, not crazy.
I don't know, man. Beating Alabama after more than a decade of just losing to them over and over in my life was kind of euphoric.
Dude, I thought my whole life was turning around because we had just had Ellie when LSU beat Alabama in 19. And I was like holding Ellie and I was like, this is it. I'm gonna get to experience like my daughter's awesome and LSU's winning a national championship. Like my teams might be good now. And then like it's been downhill since then, except for that one year where we beat Alabama on a 2-point conversion. It's just been
But yeah, Louisiana sports are not at their peak right now.
it might be Ellie's fault. I hate to blame her.
Sounds like you're gonna do it anyway, though.
I can't blame myself.
Yeah, fair.
I already got enough hate in Atlanta. I don't need hate back in Louisiana.
Not your homeland.
Yeah,
I'll
dude.
take that one. I'll take that part.
You gonna hate on Louisiana?
I mean, I have. I
Yeah.
haven't received any pushback for it.
You said the meanest things about Louisiana as if we're not down bad enough. Like you're like, oh, by the way, you remember how y'all aren't gonna have a first round pick at all? And I'm like, yeah, thank you.
The first clip that was posted was me like bringing up the concept of New Orleans having like zero basketball history and like anybody to cherish. And that was the first clip, and it got like decent views, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, this is funny." You post something positive about Atlanta, and they're like, "This guy sucks. He doesn't know what he's talking about."
I almost put that on one of the comments when the guy was going back and forth with me about that Atlanta's a great pro sports town. I almost be like, look, dude, I'm a New Orleans fan, so it's F Atlanta all day anyway. So like, I don't care. You
Yeah.
can say what you want.
Yeah, and you're a New Orleans fan. It's like, trust me, I know bad sports towns. So,
We're not a good basketball town. The Saints fans are great, dude.
yeah, it's a Saints
You
city.
don't hate on the Saints.
City of Saints.
They got the best. They got the best team in Madden, best offensive Madden, supposedly.
Hmm.
I don't know how, but
What?
I guess I don't know. Shit,
Are you just saying things?
you can't be pro Saints with me, man. No, seriously, I did. I think it was the newer one that just came out. It
Interesting.
has to be. Yeah, I don't know. It was on TikTok. I believe it. It's probably AI. The
Yeah.
Saints are actually terrible.
Uh,
Or it was Madden from 10 years ago.
yeah. I mean, you are on delay a lot of times. The stuff that you see is just gets to you late.
The way you say that sounds so mean. You are on delay a lot, bro. Like you're kind of.
It's like very nice way of saying you're kind of slow, bro.
That's so mean, man.
I don't mean it like that.
It's just hurtful. So when we
Interesting.
get back from this break, are we going to talk about how bad our picks are?
Yeah, we can talk about that. We also had a little draft shouldn't take very long of post first round. Every team that is eliminated from the playoffs, their season is over. Who would we most rather be in said draft? So going forward, we'll do that as well. So
And then you want
quick
to
break.
take a quick break here and a word from our sponsors.
I didn't hear him chime in.
Yeah, nobody. All right, we'll work on that.
So last week we did a mock draft and got pretty good reception on it. I mean, we got more views than I anticipated on it. People seem to like it or hate it, but people watched it. We're happy with it. And we both watched it back a couple times. And now that we've had some time to kind of sleep on it and reflect on our picks, how are you feeling like it went on your side? Hannes should have gone higher.
I think Hans should have been the number one overall pick based on the reception I got off of taking AJ to Bonsai too. So yeah, why not take Hans at one and just F the whole thing up, dude.
Yeah, y'all want a big Atlanta? Okay.
Yeah, like you're getting one now. I'll never make the mistake of trying to upgrade a position. I'll just go grab like team needs specifically and nothing else.
Yeah, I will say there are a couple picks in there that I really liked in the moment, and I think you were cooking on a few of them. But when I was going back and listening again, there are a couple that I loved even more. And the acquaintance to Charlotte pick that you had was it's exactly what I would have done. But man, I just for some reason when I listened back to it, I was like, God, that's a good pick. I love that one.
That's how I feel about your Burries to Dallas.
That's how I feel about that pick too.
Dude, I was listening to it and then I just started to kind of like daydream of him and Cooper Flag running a fast break and just
Yes.
like the 2-on-1 situation. Like, what do you do?
Yeah.
Especially with Cooper Flag developing a 3-point shot now too. It like he's starting to shoot it at a higher rate and you're just like, all right, well, how do I guard this?
Yeah.
Like, I may as well just try to Lou Dort somebody and tackle him because that's my best option in this situation.
Yeah. Man, that's a good one.
That was one of my favorite ones. Um, I think I should have taken Phylon a lot higher than 16.
Really? Like where?
I, I would probably take him at like, I wouldn't take him in OKC. I would have taken him with your Miami pick. And then I would consider taking him in Chicago over Hans. But my head at the time was Chicago desperately needs a big.
Yeah.
There was other bigs available, obviously. I feel like that's going to be brought up at some point. But I'm not as high on Mara as you are, and
Let me ask you this. When it comes to Mara, you've kind of already just made your opinion on it. Like, are you closed off to the idea if he might be better than you think?
no, I'm not closed off on it at all. I think there's definitely, I mean, a lot of it comes from the fact that I just don't like anybody who ever played for Michigan. And so that's where a lot of it is for me. And I think once he gets actually into the combine and I see him in a different jersey that's not those colors, I'll probably kind of be like, all right. I
Because
still, I'm still not the largest fan of his, though, I don't think.
I could see him being what people wanted Edie to be.
Yeah, I could. I didn't like Edie, though, either.
I liked Edie a little bit.
I'm not a big Edie guy. He's slow.
And Mara's quicker than him. He's faster on his feet.
I think I noticed that more in the national championship game. And I think like a lot of the other games, I didn't really notice it, that he is a lot faster and he uses his feet very well. And that is something
Sure.
where like, I can give him his flowers on. Like his feet, he has really, really good feet for his size.
Yeah, he has very good footwork. And not in the way that he's going to hit you with like a dream shake or anything, but just like I said on the pod, he has the best drop step in the draft by far. And maybe the best drop step I've seen from a big since Embiid. Like he has a legitimate drop step that looks like it could be a legit tool in the league. Now, the league isn't really drop step friendly to today's day, but he's gonna be great. Like I have a couple guys that I'm closed off to. Like I've seen enough. I know what my gut tells me. I know what my eyes tell me. I don't need to hear a stat that's going to try to sway me. Like for me, I'm completely out on Stanek. I'm surprised you didn't take him. I fully expected you to take him, especially since what I forgot when I listened back to it that at I think when you took Hannes, was it Hannes? When you took him that you said you considered Stanek
Yeah,
at 10?
yeah.
Now that I might have fallen out of my chair. I kind of wish you did that.
Taking Sinak over
Yeah.
Giannis.
I think Hannes is a funnier name that you went with, but I couldn't have disagreed more. It's an I actually like Hannes.
I like Giannis too for the NBA games. Sinak, I feel like you can get in the second round and get the same production out of him. Like I do really like him. I just think you take him in the second round. I don't think you take him in the first round. Now, if you're a team that absolutely needs a big, then yeah, needs do come into that a lot more. I guess Atlanta should take him, but I'm not as high on him as I was, but I am still pretty high. I like Snack. I think he's going to be a solid player in the NBA. I just don't see him being like Hans. I think has a chance to kind of be. I'm not gonna say like anything ridiculous. He's not gonna be a star. Like he's not the next Dirk Nowitzki, but like I think he'd be a serviceable NBA player that every once in a while goes for more than you think.
He does have somewhat of a, if you go back and watch young Dirk, not when he's, has the one-legged fadeaway and he's more about grace. Younger Dirk, he was a little clumsy, but he ran the court really well for his size. He was dunking on people. Like he didn't have the craziest hops, but he had it. He was a better defender back then. There is somewhat of a, if you squint, you might see it. And it's easy to convince yourself if you're somebody who really needs a big and you watch enough of his tape where you can be like, there's something there. Because I felt like I was kind of high on Hannes, and then I met you, and I was like, okay, maybe I'm kind of low on him.
I guess I'm branding myself as a honest guy now. It is what it is.
For your sake, I hope he turns out really well.
I mean, all publicity is good publicity, right? So even if he turns out to be just complete trash, at least I can just be wrong for everyone who watched the mock draft to be like, dang, that guy don't know ball at all.
Yeah.
Your pick, to go back to something that I love, is Alan Graves to OKC. It's a risk. It's an awesome pick because if he doesn't pan out, it really doesn't matter because OKC's so loaded anyway. But if he does pan out, like does he could be really really good on that
Yeah.
team specifically too.
And they're about to have to pay a bunch of guys, and they're more than likely going to have to move off of Dort and Caruso and a couple other guys coming up. And if you can replace them with a guy who is a great defender as well, but also provides something that those two guys don't because he's a great spot up shooter. He shoots 40% plus from three. Um, One thing I'll say about guys in the NBA who are big analytic dudes and care about like advanced stats a bit more than just box score stats, get ready to love Alan Graves if you're unaware, because his analytical stats off the charts. They are going to love this guy,
JJ Redick will love him.
bro. That's where I feel like he could move up because he wasn't even a name that people had to be on the lookout for the draft like 6 months ago. And now he has a chance to be a lottery pick. I think where I had him at 17, there's a chance he goes even higher just because there's going to be some scouts who are big analytic guys who are gonna be like, this dude is just off the charts.
Could you imagine how hyped OKC fans would be to land Yaxel and to land Allen Graves? Like the luckiness of adding those two guys to a championship roster. And there's no pressure on their rookies right now.
None. You might not even play.
Yeah, you have nothing to worry about.
I'll just say what I said on the mock draft. Good grief.
Yeah, it's gonna be painful to watch. Um,
Did you have any picks when you went back to watch that you were like, man, I kind of wish I didn't go that direction? Because I don't necessarily have one that I wish I went in a different direction, but I still don't feel confident in it when I took Anderson to Detroit. I still am very kind of like, I don't love that pick. I feel like I had to just out of necessity, but I'm still not like over the moon about that one.
Probably Koa Pete to Charlotte.
Mhm.
I think I could have for sure gone differently in that. Maybe Nate gets pulled up a little bit higher. Okore maybe there too, or even honestly Isaiah Evans, and just saying screw it. We'll just take Brandon Miller and him can they can figure it out.
I would like Isaiah Evans there.
Um, or you take a backup guard for LaMelo, and you go. I guess Bennett starts, but I don't see him being picked that high. I think
Could
18 would
take
be
Anderson, Christian Anderson there.
Christian Anderson. Yeah, you can take him there.
Because one of the things when I was doing my deep dive on Christian Anderson, I said that he works very well in an offense built around getting shooters open. I think offenses where the idea is to get to the paint, he struggles. He forces a lot of entry passes. He makes a lot of errors. But if the objective is just to get guys open on the wing and to get himself open on the wing, I think he could be pretty deadly for them.
Yeah, so that'd be a good pick there. I think that's probably what my biggest one outside of the Hans pick and AJ at two. I probably should have gone. I should have just lived my dream and just taken A cuff at two.
Yeah. I want to clip the A-Cuff one. I want to see if anybody says anything about that.
Yeah, but I don't see how you can complain about that unless you really want a Boozer at four to watch his career just fizzle out.
Some people might. That makes me think, when was the last time that the Nets had a homegrown star? Like somebody they drafted ended up becoming a very good player for them.
Shit.
If I'm be honest with you, brother, I can't remember a single one.
Dude, I started naming people in my head who have played for Brooklyn, and
It didn't start though.
I went Darren Williams, knowing full well he played for Utah first,
Yep.
and then everybody else that I can think.
Did like when did they draft a guy? Drazen Petrovic, was that the last one in the 90s?
Maybe
Like early night, what was that, like 1990 when wait, did they even have he was in Portland.
Cam Thomas,
I almost want to count it just so they have one. Brooke Lopez. Has to be Brooke Lopez.
Jared Allen.
Brooke Lopez started there, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Brooke Lopez has to be the one. If you count him as a star, but I mean he's their all-time leading scorer. People don't talk about the Nets as being one of the like poverty franchises.
Kenyon Martin in 2000. If you want to look at like a star, he was the number one overall pick that year.
Yeah.
Tim Thomas, Kerry Kittles, Rex Walters. How about PJ Brown?
Wait, PJ started with the Nets,
Yeah,
but he
yeah, because he
never
was
became good with them.
nobody comes good with the Nets, man.
Kenyon's probably the best. Well, Kenyon and Brook, I guess, are the two, which is like that's a rough one if that's what we're going with. I mean, Washington has more, Charlotte, New Orleans, the ones that
That,
we trash on, like Denver, I mean, not Denver, Brooklyn doesn't really have anything to their name.
not really, not homegrown anyway. Like not drafted there. I mean, Bernard King in '77.
Bernard King?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, because he started in Brooklyn, went to New York, and then went back to Brooklyn. And he was in
Yeah,
Washington somewhere in there.
yeah. That's honestly. I mean, you have to go back to 1977.
Jeez.
They had Calvin Nett in '79. He was the eighth overall pick. Michael Curran.
But that's the thing, too. Even these guys you're naming, they ended up better somewhere else. Like Calvin Atwell went to Denver and was it or Portland? He went to Portland. And who were we just talking about? Bernard King became way better in New York, although he
Yeah.
did have some good years with the Nets. That's
Movie.
rough.
Yeah, they don't have a great history as
Yeah.
far as that goes.
So, like historically speaking, they might be the last team you want to be drafted by.
Yeah, so you would think people who are Duke fans would be thrilled that they wouldn't go to the. I wouldn't put Boozer there.
Yeah. And if there's a guy who could potentially change that, Darius Acuff is kind of
It's Akov, dude, and that's what you got to think about. Like he can, he's box office. He's somebody people in like that, like Brooklyn, are gonna want to go watch. And he kind of plays a little bit. Like he's not like a big guard like a New York guard, but he just does got like a lot of swag to him when he plays. Like, I think he fits that Brooklyn style. He'd be all right.
that's making me now like want to root for him or Darren Peterson or AJ to end up in Brooklyn because that franchise is just waiting to have a face of that franchise, just like a synonymous guy that you think of whenever you
With
bring up the Nets.
with how big you are on Peterson, you need Peterson to go to a team like the Nets and absolutely put them on his back and make them a reputable franchise for the next 15 years.
Yeah.
Kind of like Kevin Garnett with Minnesota, just be a dog.
Is KG still the best Timberwolf of all time?
Yeah, for right now. I can see that getting a lot of hate though. I can see people being like, no, it's definitely like Ant's the guy. Ant's the guy now. But KG was so good for Minnesota.
Big ticket.
So good.
What would Ant have to do to pass him? Just more time? Like, is he already on pace to?
Yeah, it's just more time. I think that's all it is. All it is. Like I don't think it's something where it's like, oh, KG's so much better than him. He has to absolutely win a championship and bring it to Minnesota. Like, I don't think it's like that. I think it's just more like, how long did KG spend in Minnesota? 10 years?
Something like that.
Like it was a while. So you figure he does that. Yeah, if Ant plays 10 years in Minnesota for sure, he's definitely the best Timberwolf ever.
He's already been to more conference finals.
Yeah.
Does he have to win MVP? Because KG won MVP there.
Well, that's where I think like the Western. I guess all that stuff will kind of start to balance itself out. Because like Ant, if he goes to another Western Conference Finals and then wins a championship, I don't really care about the MVP as much. I don't know how people in Minnesota would feel about that. They might be more on the case of I don't know.
I know the MVP means a lot to them.
Well, yeah, because they haven't got anything else.
Yeah.
Not trying to like that's it.
That's
And
the thing too. We trash on like the Timberwolves. I think they still have like the worst winning percentage in NBA history. but they have guys they've drafted who have been guys like they have homegrown
Yeah,
dudes.
they got homegrown dudes who have been good.
It just didn't pan out.
Yeah. And a lot of it's too just born in the wrong era. Like, I mean, there was nothing Minnesota was going to do against the Lakers. Like, it's not even fair.
Right.
So it's just bad timing, really.
Yeah, I think Ant's on pace too. He already has more conference finals. If he takes them to another couple conference finals, especially if he takes them to the finals, whether what they win or not, I think he's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think right now I would still lean KG a little bit too, though.
It's close, and it makes you think about it. It's not like, oh, I can look at him and just be like KG immediately. It's like, well, he's got back-to-back conference finals. He is also, but KG is an MVP, and so you got to kind of balance all that stuff out. And when it all balances out, I think Ant's definitely going to be the better Timberwolf.
And I feel like it's just weird to think about comparing Ant to some of these all-time great guys. Like it's weird for me in my mind because I hold KG in such high regard in my head, even though he's a Celtic too, and I have not forgiven him for that. I still love Minnesota KG, and I hold that in such high regard. It's weird to me to think that there's another guy currently in the league that could surpass that. Like that just still feels weird, even though I know he's on that pace to do it if he hasn't already. If you have some Minnesota fans, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them tell you he's already done it.
And I wouldn't argue him,
Yeah.
really. I mean, I probably still would, just because I do think KG is still the best, but I'm not that serious about it.